Thanks. Okay. All right. Wow, it's rising.
I'll talk to you a little bit. I'll tell you something. Revival was so good for me. I was 44 years old when revival broke out. It was so good for me.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be tuning in from this hour. We just want to say thank you for showing up. And I'm just going to ask you guys to put on your camera if you can. Tonight is going to be epic. We're going to really give you tons of information. I would love you to value this session, see it as a masterclass. Get your pen and pad. The information we're going to be sharing tonight is such that you need to keep this for years and years and years to come. It's going to be your blueprint, your template to create lasting wealth. Trust me, the person that is going to be speaking to us tonight is somebody you know and is full of information. And I just want to celebrate everyone that is here. And I'm just going to check where you are dialing from. If you've not registered where you are calling from, please put it on the chat box so that we want to see the feel, have a feel of where everybody is coming from. People have tuned in from all over the world, from Canada, from the US, from Nigeria, from Germany, from Spain, from Dubai. Oh, Oluseun from Dubai. Thank you for tuning in. Peckham, Swindon. Wow, 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 wow. From Germany, from Cardiff. Taiwo from the UK. Lucas from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Wow. We can see that. Darren from UK, Croydon. Solomon from Croydon. Grace from Lagos, Nigeria. Essex. Okay, Southampton. Accra, Ghana. United States, Canada. Leicester, Kent. Bedford. Calgary, Norway. Wow. Harold from Kent. New York City, Norway. Okay. Gabriel from Abuja, Dubai. Dr. BC Aditoba from Dubai. Thank you for tuning in. Kingston upon all. Montreal, Canada, US. Keep sharing where you tune in from, please, so that we can celebrate you. You could have decided to go elsewhere tonight, but you decided to join us. And it's going to be worth your while. We have over 200 people tuning in already, and more people are still going to come. This is a global masterclass. And like I said to you, get your pen and notepad. Information that our guest is going to share tonight is epic, is what has made him who he is today. And yes, I going to get Dorothy to introduce our host, our guest tonight. If Dorothy is there, do you want to introduce our host, our guest tonight? While I'm waiting for him, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. Put all your questions on the chat box so that we can deal with all your questions. Please and please and please, you need to mute yourself. This session is recorded and we don't want any interference. We don't want anything that is going to distort the recording. Please mute yourself. Caroline, oh, sorry. Dorothy, are you there, please? Okay, no problem, no problem. I'm going to introduce our speaker, our guest, our host tonight. And it's no other person, it's Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo. Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo is a pastor, a businessman, a mentor, and a thought leader. He has created wealth in different fields, but in the real estate space, this has been notable. And he's going to be sharing with us tonight his journey. And without much ado, I just want to bring him to the platform to join us. And I want you to make him welcome. Use all the interactive means on this platform to celebrate him. He has created millionaires in the country, United Kingdom. And I want you to celebrate him. Make him welcome to us a lot of information tonight. I'm privileged to have been under his mentorship for years and years. This single man, this man we're introducing to you has helped thousands and thousands of people on the ground to be successful. Adeobi, could you please mute yourself, please? Pastor Matthew, you are welcome in our midst tonight. Pastor, are you ready for us, sir? Thank you, sir. Everyone is gathered here tonight. They want to hear your success story. As a diasporan that have lived in the United Kingdom for over 42 years.
Okay.
And also, you've been investing in Africa since the age of 27. We want to hear from you, your journey.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayowa Oluyede, and thank you for everyone on the platform who is making it possible. I want to also celebrate all those who have joined from around the world. I noticed some other cities like California, etc., etc. We celebrate and appreciate everyone. Before I share whatever I may have experienced by way of the blessings of God, I have to start from the point of struggles. You've got to always start from the known to the unknown. You have to start from how low could you have been before you were raised up. My background really is a background of real intense lack and poverty and challenge of my family. I do not say this to denigrate my father, but he didn't have an attitude or a desire for real estate. In fact, though he was a soldier, he was a compulsive gambler. So all of our lives, we lived it in intense lack and poverty. By the time salary was received at the end of the month, the money had gone. This was the background. And when we were growing up in the northern part of Nigeria and later in the southern part, most of my birth and teenage was in the north. We often would rent houses where nobody else wanted to rent. When the army barracks were full, we rented outside the barracks and they were always the lowest grade of houses. Something inside me desired something better than this. That's where it all starts. You must always believe and pray that you'll be 100, 1,000 times more than your fathers. Of course, I became a Christian, gave my life to Christ. But even while in seminary, I was broke. It was 3 intense years of training in 1974 to 76, and even during those 3 years, it was very hard and harsh to to come out of seminary. But then, as soon as I resumed in a local church, Shomolu Foursquare Church in Nigeria, I had a desire to just be committed to whatever I was doing. The first seed of real estate, incidentally, was dropped in my spirit by the man who was my pastor in the church from where I went to seminary. He was the one who told me, "Oh, you need to own a land and you need to build." In fact, I was so property averse that I told him, "Oh, Jesus is coming soon. Why should I take the time to be buying property?" And this was like 45 to 47 years ago. But to cut the long story short, I took the man's counsel, but I didn't have money. When I was a student in seminary, there was a gentleman who came to seminary. He was already a businessman, and all he did was to import musical instruments into the country of Nigeria. And upon graduation from seminary, I became close to this person and told him to show me how to do it. So, as a young pastor who was paid the who was paid peanuts for my entry point salary in 1976 December was 50 naira. And with as small as it is, I'll still save, which was another major step, learning to save the money and spend a little, having given my tithe and offering, spend a little and save the rest. So I followed this man. The first time I will come to London, I came to buy musical instruments. I followed the man, he showed me where to buy it. And then not only buy from London, but also to buy from Italy. Got to know the name of companies that made pianos. I was among the pioneer people who took pianos that had inbuilt sound and music and drums inside them into the country of Nigeria. The time I'm talking about, the musical shops you have today did not exist. So we were the first pioneers that were bringing the musical instruments. So with just my salary that was saved, I sold the first piano or keyboard and bought the first piece of land and built my first house at the age of 27. When I was even not yet married, I had bought the land and I had started the building. And I guess I completed it just before marriage, reached the point where it now needed roofing at the age of 27. The denomination where we belong to decided to send me to England as a reverse missionary. All this while I was saving money to go do a degree program in Winnipeg, Canada. That's a Winnipeg Theological Seminary in Audubon, uh, uh, Winnipeg, Canada. And now I was told to come to London to pastor. So I had to repatriate all my school fees at that time, 43 years ago, 10,000 Canadian dollars, which became 7,000 pounds at that time, was a lot of money. A lot of money. I mean, when I got to England, even the people who are gathered were only paying just about 50 pounds a week as salary. But that 7,000 pounds, I used 1,000 to settle my family, take care of our lives. 6,000, I began to use it to buy more musical instruments and carry to Nigeria. More musical instruments and carry to Nigeria until a large amount was built out of that. Once that was built, the next phase was that somebody, a good friend of mine, uh, Pastor Chris Jordan of Christ Chapel, approached me and said, Nigeria has not been able to allow Christian books to come in because no one could get foreign exchange. I think it was during the government of either Abacha or Babangida. They've had so much restriction on foreign currency. So he said, why don't you bring books in? Since you live in London, where am I going to find the books? By the providence of God, I had become friends with some publishers in the UK. I approached them, and these guys collapsed the value of their books and gave me as much as 60% discount. But then, whatever money I have is not enough. I will never forget people in the tracks of my journey. There was a gentleman in Lagos. I used to work for a bank at that time. I think his name is Enito Fayomi. He decided, look, he said, Pastor Matthew, I'll loan you $20,000, containerize the books and bring. Those are people in my journey who helped me. We bought a container load of books. We didn't have a bookshop. In fact, I was doing business in reverse. Today I know better. I was doing business in reverse. No bookshop, no storage, container is on the way, full of books from the people who sold to me. Firstly, whatever they had of many authors, they gave us as much as 70, 80% discount. And then some new titles which I pointed at, they gave us 60% and printed special prints for Nigeria. I brought it into Nigeria when there were no books. We had a container of books. The lady who was our chief bridesmaid during our wedding, today Pastor Biodo Kwejo is her name. She had a garage in the house given to her by WAEC, West Africa Exams Council, as a director. Stored the books there. That was from where we began to sell. And somebody who had mentored from when she was 11 to and seen her through university had to now be the one to open the bookshop. In a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, I went from selling musical instruments to now getting involved in Christian literature. Not only did we handle the Christian literature in the UK, we now became the representatives of 40 publishers in America. So that anybody who wanted to buy books in Nigeria came to my company. God was just taking us from one level to the other. Every publishing house you can think of, everyone was directed to us, from Nelson to Kenneth Higgins to Copeland, Harrison House, any publishing house you can think of. We became the ones who were importing books, and we had West African rights. God just ballooned it. It saw my heart. But as that also increased, there was no place to put the money. There was no investment to put the money in, and we can't bring it back to the UK because there was quite a challenge transferring money. Even when things eased up a little bit, there was quite a challenge transferring the money. It was during this period, again, another person in my journey, my best man, he was pastoring in Lagos. He called me in England. Said, some people want to sell land. They want to sell 30 acres of land in a village called Mowe. Today, Mowe is a big name. By that time, there were just about 10 houses. So we bought 30 acres of land. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll give you some prices today, but that's not where you'll find it anymore. But 30 acres of land for 900,000 Naira. But ladies and gentlemen, that was 37 years ago. After we bought the 30, then we were told there's more. Went back, bought another 70 acres. It became 100. I thought I was going to give some land there to our church to start a university before God led me to take the university to my hometown. So during the course of thinking of university, I kept buying more. I kept buying more as I was selling musical instruments or selling books. Kept buying more until I bought over 900 acres of land in the Mowe axis, to the point when people wanted to sell land in the area, they would just say, "Oh, you know that man on television, Matthew Ashimolowo, he owns land here." So he gave people comfort to be buying. That's how I ended in land banking, owning 900 acres. A matter of fact, that 900 acres, which I mentioned, have now become the place where we have 5 estates that are bought from us and have built houses and are selling. So that even though we built, we sold to some others. So the place is called Bluestone Garden City. But inside Bluestone City, you have different estates in one city. My journey from a person who was, shall we almost call it, under a father who had to rent, to the place where not only did we rented the cheapest. To the place we have that seminary, I had to go through the process of building the first house at 27 and catching the dream, the vision of the importance of investment. And from there, I now went into the process of buying in Moe, but then did not stop at Moe, began to do some more land banking in some other areas, some more land banking in some other areas. Today, in 2026, apart from whatever we have in Moe, which we have dispensed or sold a good number of the acres, only have 150 acres left, so that we're empowering other people. We now have land banking in the Lekki area, where we have various estates and lands which we have bought. I thank you again, Mr. Mayowa, for the invitation. I know that what you want me to address particularly is people in the diaspora. You've heard a little of my experience. Why should you, as a diasporan, invest today? And I need to let you know that on one hand, there is somebody out there who is likely to give negative information about Africa, about Nigeria. But you need to understand that ownership is the foundation of wealth. And by wealth, we mean things that are tangible, things you can handle. Ownership builds wealth. Income only pays bills. Income pays bills. Ownership builds wealth. Ownership means having a stake in business, in real estate, like I just told you now. We'll mention a couple of estates later in the teaching. Agricultural enterprises, infrastructure, stocks and equities, technology ventures, and energy projects. And for many of us who are in the diaspora, we are so scared. We hear of insecurity, we hear of all sorts of things happening. But let me tell you, Africa is no longer a future story. Africa is now the present opportunity. And I'm glad you came on the platform. Let me just say this. Many diaspora Africans continue to invest where they are in economies that are already mature and that only give very little return, while those economies are truly important. The British economy is important. The S&P 500 in the US is important. The FTSE 100 in the UK is important. The houses in Dubai are important. But the growth numbers coming out of Africa deserve your serious attention tonight. For example, stock market return in 2024. Ghana Stock Exchange returned 56%. The Nigerian Stock Exchange returned 37.7 interest in growth. The MSCI Nigeria Index, that is, I'll come back to that one. Nairobi Security Exchange returned 65%. S&P 500, on the other hand, the popular one in the US, returned 23%. FTSE 100 in the UK returned only 9%. So when you look at all these figures, you can see that the African advantage is so huge. MSCI is Morgan Stanley's Capital International. It shows that in Nigeria, Morgan Stanley Capital International in Nigeria returned 47%. And guess who is using Morgan Stanley Capital International? It is the same people who sometimes will write about Africa, but they are harvesting Africa while Africans become afraid. So the point is not that African markets are always superior. The point is that you, as a person in the diaspora, you should not just be sending money to somebody who said, I'm sick, I have a headache, I have leg pain. The day you have issue and go back to live there, you'll find that the same people will say, where is what you have built? Perhaps the most remarkable statistic when it comes to Ghana's performance, for example, is that their dollar-based investment returned 154%. 154. That should be a case for somebody to think and say, am I looking at opportunities and am I overlooking them simply because they are Africa? Listen to me. Listen, Africa is the world's biggest demographic story to come. I don't know if you know that. Only 24 years time, 24 years time, Lagos will be the largest city in the world with 40 million people. Oh, I don't know if you know, for you who's the Nigerian on the platform today, that in 24 years' time, because of the rate of growth in Africa and in Nigeria, Nigeria will become between 388 and 400 million, which means it will catch up with the demography of the United States. I was watching something on CNN today showing the fact that birth rate is reducing in America. Meanwhile, in Africa, it is ballooning. Africa currently has 1.4 billion people. But guess what? Only in 24 more years, only in 24 more years, 1.1 will be added. Africa will become 2.5 billion people in 24 years. And the unfortunate thing is that the people who have no interest in Africa are watching. They are seeing the demography. They want to take advantage. And the people who should invest there and be part of the early coming in are the ones who are slow. I hope you wouldn't be slow. I hope you wake up on time. Africa is going to increase by 705 million people. The workforce, just the workforce, will increase by 705 million people. Guess what? In 24 years' time, 60% of that 2.5 billion will be 30 years and below. 60%. In case you also do not know, check this. FAO, Food and Agric Organization, said 60% of the best farmable land on earth is in Africa. So no serious investor can ignore a continent that is adding so many millions of consumers. As you see, we are going to increase in growth. There is no population control that reduces the number of growth, particularly in a place like Nigeria. So there will be needs. One, there will be need for housing. There will be need for transportation. There will be need for health care. Some of us, this is what we studied. We know you are doing very well, but how about owning something that is yours? There will be need for education, the internet on a larger scale. There will be need for food. Lagos often has a shortfall of 1 million chicken every day. There are days they don't have enough chicken. There are more eateries unable to open. I know that case of Chicken Republic, unable to open more because there is not enough chicken to serve if they open another eatery. Financial services are increasing, energy is increasing, and of course we know the entertainment industry in Africa has taken over. Every one of these needs create investment opportunities, and there is a workforce advantage. Many developed nations are facing aging, and they are shrinking in their labor force. And listen to me, over the next 30 years, the fastest growth in working age population will be in Africa. Like I told you, 30 years and below. So we'll have more workers, more consumers. And that should be the one that interests you as a diasporan. You see, the money in your hand, whatever you have in your hand, will make more impact in Africa in the next 24 years. Africa will have more entrepreneurs, more taxpayers, more home buyers. So the economic momentum is going to accelerate in Africa. Africa's real GDP is right now 4.2%. Even though there is such prejudice against Africa, its gross domestic product is 4.2%. It is outperforming the global average of 3.1. So several African economies are returning a good return on their economy. Ethiopia did 9.8%. Rwanda did 7.5%. Uganda did 6.44%. Meanwhile, nations of the West are not exceeding 3%. So remarkably, 12, you see, right now, 20 performing nations, 12 of them are in Africa because we're hungry, because we desire change, because we have opportunities, because there's enough space, because there's the chance to create. And it is the man who gets there first. It's the early birds that get the best worms. 12 of the 20 best performing economies on earth right now are in Africa. So, Mr. Mayowa, why diaspora Africans have a unique advantage, I'm going to share with you. They have an advantage because they have a cultural understanding. You know, the Chinese man may come and think he wants to invest in Nigeria. He thinks he understands the place. We understand the place better. You understand local realities more than foreign investors. Number two, we have family networks. We know somebody who knows somebody. There is no land which I probably bought or which my company bought that there was no connection that made it to happen. Number three, there's market insight. We understand the place. If somebody asks me, why will Africa explode in growth like that? We have other religions that permit people to marry 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. So the day I started and somebody my age started, he married 4 wives. Each wife gave him 4 children. That is 16 children. I had 2 children. Then his 16 children, my 2 sons, now have grandchildren. His 16 children will now have grandchildren. That's one of the reasons for the explosion of growth in Africa. And then there's currency strength for you in the diaspora. Your £1, what it does in Africa. Your $1, what it does in Africa. Your 1 dirham from Dubai, what it does in Africa. Your 1 Canadian dollar. 1 Canadian dollar is 1,000 Nigerian naira. 1 US dollar is 1,380 Nigerian. The power of what's in your hand, but many have allowed it to fritter away. And so you need to understand, yes, there are risks in Africa. There are risks. But listen, there's currency risk. However, with the exchange rate fluctuation, you take your dollar, you come to a place like Macarius and you bought real estate. When the currency goes down, your property goes up. Your property goes up. There's liquidity problem. So investments cannot be sold quickly. That's true. But some of the things you buy and you have in Africa, when the years come by, they increase in value. And the solution to something you can't sell quickly is maybe you do real estate and you buy something in another, you buy some of the shares of the land, so you have diversification. Then somebody say, oh, but the political risk, the regulatory risk. Hey, somebody is there swimming with the sharks without being eaten. And take it from me, Matthew Ashimolowo. I go back to Nigeria almost every week, as I have to look at what's happening with my company, and I have to come back to do my spiritual responsibility in the UK every week. Every flight, 20 to 30% foreigners. Oh, let me shock you. One of the reasons you should really wake up to the things we're sharing tonight, for those of you who are in the US, Canada, Dubai, there is a product from Nigeria that you are now eating in the places where you are. It is called Indomie. Do you know the value of Indomie? Do you know the owners? Indomie belongs to Indians. You want to know the value? 510 billion naira every year. You heard me clearly. 510 billion naira every year. In 2 years, 1 trillion naira. You want to know Nigeria's investment in Indomie? 2%. So every year, somebody carries that out, because no matter how much they say they love your country, and in fact, some of them are so smart, they now have Nigerian passport. So they don't have to go through the hassle of hiring a Nigerian chairman or a Nigerian board head. They have Nigerian passport. So they repatriate all their money. But you who is from the country, you have looked down. So yes, there is political and regulatory risk, but you can use professional guidance. You can diversify across sectors, particularly as we are going to be talking to you about real estate today. This is the chance. You just heard 40 million people are going to live in Lagos. No matter what they say, the statistics is now 24 million. It puts Lagos at about number 6 or 7 at the moment. But in 24 years' time, everything will change. So if you didn't get involved now, you regret later. Just like many of us regretted, or some of us met Lagos when plots were 500 naira. I went to speak in Okwebi in 1980, and they asked me to come and buy a plot of land in Okwebi for 500 naira. If I struggled, it was more than my salary at that time. Can you believe that? My salary was something like 160 naira. But if I struggled, I told them to let me pay over 3-4 months, they would have allowed. The area where they had invited me to buy a plot, the plot is now 2 to 300 million. 2 to 300 million for a plot that was to be sold to me for 500 naira. And there are people in the diaspora all this time I'm describing that have not made any investment. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I challenge you. There's still a lot more to talk to you about, but I want to just say before I invite Mr. Mayowa to ask me any questions. Consumption, listen, the next generation of diaspora wealth builders, we need to understand some simple truths, and you are one of them. And that's why we got you here today. Number one, you need to understand consumption will spend money, but ownership will multiply your money. You know, when we consume, we spend. When we own property, real estate, we multiply the value of the money. Africa's population will grow more. Some people will wake up too late. Some people are looking at the insecurity and they're saying, oh, if I do this, what will happen? I can't even travel. Then we will introduce to you the area where there is security. And then Africa's workforce is going to expand with the age group being 30 and below. over the next couple of years, with 60% of Africa being that big, things are going to mean that you have opportunity to market, to sell. Africa's cities are developing. Some of us, the last image we have of some places is poor roads, poor systems. But in the middle of all the turmoil and argument, Africa is changing, Nigeria is changing, Lagos is changing, many parts of the nation are changing. And then some people say, there is such gap between the haves and the have-not. That is true. But you see, middle class is increasing in Africa. So the question is not whether value will be created. The question is who will own the assets? Who will own the apartments? Who will own the properties? Who will own the land? And some of you, you are listening to me today and you're thinking, yeah, who will own the land? Who will own the asset? Who will own the property? But you've not taken any step, or you're afraid because you sent some money to a cousin. Your money was gone. We're not inviting you today, and we're not talking to you on matters of cousin. Let me just add one more before Mr. Mayowa comes. Suddenly, there is a sense of unrest with the migrant person across the world, particularly the Nigerian. I was watching some videos about South Africa today and it gave me some jittering. Somebody suddenly does not want the Nigerian, even though we were the ones who paid the price for their nation for them to get their independence. We sent their men to school. Mandela came to hide in Nigeria. Thabo Mbeki came to our university. And many of their people were brought to our universities. Our university students did not eat their lunch for some days and contributed the money. The US, suddenly, eyes have risen. And they're chasing people, even people who have been there 30 years. The United Kingdom, with the stabbing of a young man in the eye in Belfast. Suddenly, the right groups have risen in the UK. Europe, I was watching a video today in the European Parliament. A large majority took over and were screaming, get them out, something like that. I can't quite remember the statement. It just shows you that the only place that is going to grow bigger, the only place that is going to grow better, the only place that's going to be the attraction of the world eventually, because when the economy here have already been saturated, people are now focusing on Africa. That's why we're now inviting you to take advantage and to hit Africa with your own investment and take advantage of anything presented to you. And we in Macarius, we've been able to help people who invested to have 200, 300% return on the value of what they invested. I will be ready to answer more questions on the diaspora, and I'll be ready to speak more on steps in investment. I'll leave it to Mr. Mayowa to ask all the questions. Thank you very much, Mayowa.
Wow, 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 wow. That is mind-blowing. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
For sharing your story, for sharing the landscape of the country of Nigeria when it comes to investing. Guys, we're privileged tonight to have Pastor Matthew with us. He's a diaspora like us. He's been in this journey. He's been on this journey for years and years. I've been in the United Kingdom for the last 25 years of my life, and I've built wealth in the real estate space. I've actually built multi-million pound property portfolio through his teachings over the years. He has helped many, many, many of people in the diaspora to become wealthy. Some multi-millionaires in this country. And if we're not coming to you to show you what is happening in the next phase. Many of us on this call were over 50 years, we're 45, we're 50, we're 50 plus. There is no place like home. I personally now am focusing more in the country of Nigeria. And there are so many reasons for that. He has stressed the fact that your pound sterling, if you're in the United Kingdom, can do more. If you're in the US, your dollar can do more. If you're in Canada, your Canadian dollar can do more. 1,000 pounds is almost 2 million naira. Properties in Nigeria now with 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 pounds, you can do more. But before we show you the opportunities available tonight, I've got 10 questions I want to ask Pastor Matthew.
All
And
right, shoot.
questions as well. If you have your question, put it on the chat box, and we will at least do our best to put those questions through to him. And there's no question that is silly. Whatever question, put it there, and
Sure.
what you don't know, you don't know. But every time, for those who traveled a lot to Africa, the plane is always full of foreigners going
Yes.
to nations.
Yes.
Despite the cost of flight, is always full of foreigners going. That means they know something that you and I don't know.
Yes.
And if you look closely, if you mix with the people that knows what is happening, you two will connect. You see, wealth is about connection. Who are you connecting with? Who is showing you the way? And we are privileged tonight, this moment, to have Pastor Matthew showing us what is possible. He's not telling us stories. He's telling us practical things that he has done. And I can attest to that. So, sir, my first question to you. Firstly, thank you for that session. Is a masterclass. My first question to you, when you started investing in property,
yes,
what was the biggest mindset shift that allowed you to think beyond earning income and focus on building wealth?
Thank you very much for the question. The first mindset shift for me was when the lands began to gain value. When I bought the first land and built a house, it was just a dream that, look, I want to have a house. So myself and my wife and children, we have a place to stay in where we'll come back to Africa. But my mind shift began about 37, 38 years ago, when not long after buying the land, suddenly the value just exploded. I found that I bought the land a certain amount. When I went back to buy another 70, it was now times 3 of what I bought the previous one. So that was when I saw that, wait a minute, something is happening here. And I bought that 70 acres to add to the 30. I could tell you the amount. At the time I bought the 30 acres, I bought it for 900 and something thousand naira. Of course, somebody will say 900 and something thousand naira was valuable that time. Even then, it was at less than 50,000 naira. It was maybe less than 50,000 naira per acre. Mr. Mayowa, the real estate companies inside Bluestone today who have bought from us are selling a plot 20 million. And there are 6 plots in 1 acre. So my shift happened when it was time to buy the next 70. And then my shift happened further when I went again, and now we wanted to buy from Mowe to Ofada, which is like 5 kilometers stretch. That is how the land is. The amount we now paid for the next 800 was further more than what we bought there. So it showed me that, look, land does not die, land does not shift, land does not get devalued unless there is an industrial pollution. And I mean, before you get industrial pollution in Nigeria, you go far. So that was my shift. And it now made me also to cross the waters, because good question you've asked me. I also have missed major opportunities before that mind shift. They gave me the form for Magodo when it was 38,000 naira. I put it aside. Mr. Mayo, they gave me the form for Lekki Phase 1 when it was 21,000 naira.
Wow.
It's deep. In fact, it's almost embarrassing to mention. So, and even after my mind shift, there were still corrections to be made because my lawyer begged me to buy a plot in Banana Island for 42 million naira. And I didn't. I carried the money and went and put it in a place of high risk where I bought a larger land for 25 million and lost it. If I had bought that one plot in Banana for 42, today it is worth about 3 to 4 billion. There's nothing comparable in our African space and when it comes to returns like real estate. I hope I answered that question.
Yes, I quite agree with you. And my next question is actually probably linked to that. Looking back over your journey, what were the 3 property decisions that created the greatest wealth for you?
Number one was this same Mowe, which I mentioned.
Yeah.
Bought 900 acres initially for no more than probably, shall we say, 70 million naira. Then eventually you will have challenges with Omonile because we're using an agent who didn't pay them. So we had to rebuy. Despite all the rebuy, I couldn't have spent more than 200-300 million for the 900 acres. But today, if somebody's about to buy 25 acres for $1 billion out of all that land. So that was one major shift. When I now cross over to the waters on Lekki, if you come to Macarius, I can give testimony of our clients who bought from us. Those who bought 300 square meters, just 2023, they bought it for 33 million. Now Macarius itself is selling it for somewhere between 97 and 120 million. That 300 square meter. The 500 square meter, which was sold 57 million 3 years ago by Macarius, is now 150 million. Somebody may even look at it and say, that's very high for me. It's better to take advantage because once you know even what is inside the estate we are mentioning, there is an estate that has its own power, its own water, its own this, its own that, 27 transformers already on ground with electrical panels and water. A lady bought a plot from Dallas and came just 2 months ago. When she got to a plot and saw something start, she said, "What is this?" We said, "That's water." The pipe for her water is already on her plot. The pipe for her electricity is already on her plot. The pipe to take away sewage already in her plot. So my shift was my first big land bride, which is Mowe of Father. But then later we bought bigger lands. We bought big lands in Lekki.
So will you say location, timing, or holding power was the biggest factor for you?
I think it's the 3. With Mowe, it's holding. I held Mowe for about 25 years before disposing of any of the acres because it was further away from Lagos and the roads were being constructed. In fact, the guys who bought from me, when I sold to them, because I believe in giving people power, the guys who bought, they came as a consortium. We sold to them at 5 million per acre. And I told them, don't even pay. Go and pay in 6 months' time. They were rolling on the ground. Firstly, because 5 million for an acre, Don't pay until 6 months was like the best news they've ever heard.
That was a good bargain.
It changed their life. It changed their level. And they all kept coming back and saying, you made us to, for the first time, be known as billionaires. So that is holding power when it comes to Mowe. When it comes to location, you cannot get it wrong in Lagos. Lagos, 4 spots. Spot number 1 is the Banana Ikoyi axis will return your money in less than 2 years. The only challenge is that 1 acre in Lekki, in Ikoyi today is 5 billion. 1 acre in Banana is 6 billion. Lekki to Ibeju Lekki will return your money between 2 years and 4. Macarius returns in months. Returns in months. The reason is because the further you move from some places. Now, if you go to the mainland, the Yaba Ikeja will return your money in 6, 7 years or 8. And the further you move away from that part, they return your money in 8, 9 years. If you move out of Lagos, I can only guarantee Abuja, Port Harcourt, as a place that returns your money. The challenge with many diasporans, the challenge with many people in the diaspora is that they tend to want to buy in the city they left. But be very careful in real estate. Don't buy emotional. You buy, you would realize that this is not just land. This is not just a house. This is investment. This is real estate. There are people in Lagos now that they are grateful for their father, for their mother, who built in any place in Lagos, because that's now their source of 3 square meal. And your question about location leads me to the fact that it's a good question. My first house was built in the wrong location. I built in a village called Modakeke in Ile-Ife, Osun State. Don't even ask me for the value of the house. It's a beautiful 5-bedroom, heavy-duty house. Imagine that in Lagos, man. That's now in GRA that will rent for 35 million a year. Can you believe that?
Was it that you were dancing to the pressure of your family members?
I think many of our listeners today may not even realize the benefit, the beauty of the internet and seminars like this on real estate. There was none in those days. There was absolutely none. I think I'm a pioneer among those who began to do Wealth Summit, Real Estate Summit in Nigeria. There was none. We were just groping in the dark. Some people had information, but they were hiding it, which was one of the characteristics of old wealth. Old wealth tend to hide information. I don't know if I answered.
Yes, perfectly, sir. You were starting again today with limited capital.
Yes.
Where will you invest in Nigeria and why?
The first thing I would look at is returns on investment. And the reason I will take the areas where, for example, Macarius is in Ibejulek is one. If it's an apartment and I live in, where do I want to live? Say I live in Calgary, like somebody on the platform lives in Calgary, or I live in California, that property, that 2-bedroom apartment which Macarius is building can be giving me something like maybe 150,000 Naira either a day or even if it's a week. That's why it's a day, 150,000 Naira a day. Yeah. My son just had a baby. So when we're doing the christening, his father-in-law has an Airbnb in Nigeria. So I said, hey, how are you? How's your Airbnb doing? He said, very well. He said, my last rent paid for 21 days at 150,000 per day. Man, 150,000 per day, 21 days, that's a lot of money. So I would rather invest in that corridor. One, because it is the happening corridor. Two, it is the developing corridor. Three, because it is right now the focus of the state. Four, train is going in that direction. Airport is going in that direction. And in the master plan of Lagos State, it is called Lagos New Town. Lagos New Town. So that corridor, it is also, as you can see, that's where the refinery is, that's where the free trade zone is. A good number of people who are going to be working around the refinery are looking for places to rent. For the moment, some of them are having to take a bus to come back to Lekki. So the Ibeju area where Macarius is, which is the beginning of Lekki, the end of Lekki, beginning of Ibeju, is going to explode. So if I have limited funds, that's where I will put it. And when we say limited, it may look like expensive compared to Mowe, compared to leaving Lagos. But you see, you must always think return on investment. The gentleman whom I mentioned, that he has a an Airbnb, 150,000 a day, is in Magodo. So, which is a beautiful estate, secured estate. These are the things a person should consider. So you buy a beautiful apartment, for example, in Macarius, you can say, okay, I'll put it out for rent. And whenever I'm in Africa, I stay there for 2 weeks. And when I'm gone, instead of locking it up, I hand it over back to Macarius to help me put out for Airbnb. Macarius will manage it. Put your money in your account on a regular basis. So that gentleman, he is now planning on having more than one apartment he's renting out like that. So that will be the kind of best. Many people could be caught with all this cheap land story. Anytime you see a land that is extremely cheap and it is in Lagos State, run for it. You want me to explain why?
Yes, sir.
Because Lagos State, for you to have proper good documentation, it's not cheap in Lagos. And you must have good documentation for you to say the property is secure, is guaranteed, is okay, no problem with it. And so when people now hear, oh, there's a land somewhere in Ogun State, is only 1 million, it's only 2 million. You don't want to build, and every time they are calling you and saying something has happened. And many people take too many risks in our nation. I hope I answered.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to quickly take one or two questions from the audience now.
Sure.
From our people on the line. One
Sure.
of my first question would be, sir, somebody is asking how to develop an exit strategy if something goes wrong in terms of real estate or land banking. How to do budget for holding cost. The question is not straightforward, but basically it's trying to say what is exit strategy if things go wrong in Nigeria.
First thing is, if you are doing land banking, which is different from buying just one plot of land. If you are doing land banking, the first thing you have to know is that number one, land is not something you can easily just wake up today and say, I'm going to sell it today. It could take 2 months. It could take 3 months. It could take 1 year. It could take 2 years. So in land banking, you know that you can't sell urgently. If you sell urgently, you will lose a lot. Number two, before you bank a land, do all the due diligence. Get documentation right. So when documents are okay, they are right, you can now go to bed. You know that the chances of somebody coming to make a claim is infinitesimal. You have your certificate of occupancy, which was duly pursued by you, not somebody telling you they've done it and they didn't do the right thing. You have your documentation, you have everything done, then you can be at peace. So it may make you to be illiquid. That is why some of your cash, you should put it in another kind of investment like treasury bills, which you want to sell in case you need cash. But in land banking, the best thing to do is don't bank a land which does not give you all the peace of mind. The 900 acres you had me talk about meant a lot of uh, working hard with the government of Ogun State to the point of where you have all your land, all your documents, you still have a governor who wants to slice. I had a governor who wanted to slice 285 acres of my land, wanted to take it. And he was my friend before he became governor, and I was pursuing him. He was dodging me. And God made it that we were in the same flight to London. So there's no hiding place inside the plane. I got my land back in the end. Got my land back. So land banking is a beautiful thing. The key thing is get your documentations right. When you use lawyers, part of Nigerian challenge is that we tend to use lawyers who are our friends. You need to spend if you want to create wealth. You need good expertise. You need a lawyer who knows commercial law. You need a lawyer who knows land law. When we had a case where some Amonile thought they would take our land back, the SAN I used straight away up front, his charge was 320 million naira. 320 million. But his specialization is land. In fact, when he's not handling my case, it's either that Ishaku Rabiu, the guy who's challenging Dangote in wealth, is either sending his jet to come and pick him to go and represent them. That's the level of the kind of lawyer I had to use. He was the kind of lawyer who, when he explained something in court and the other side didn't know it, even the judge was saying, that's why we need people like you to be coming to court and talking to us. Of course, the other side should have known that when the judge is surrendering to your lawyer and saying, come and educate us more, the case is weighing a little bit against them. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yep. Brilliantly, sir. Thank you, sir. Many people wait for the perfect time before investing. What has been the cost of waiting in your own experience?
The cost of waiting for a perfect time has been huge. I lost the Banana Island land because I didn't know that's going to be the future. In fact, I always talk of Banana Island. I don't tell people that they also showed me 3 other lands that I was thinking, when will this one mature? They showed me a land beside what is now known as there's this mall at Alausa. What's the name of this mall now? The South African name. That's this mall at Alausa. The land beside it I was shown. I didn't think I should buy it. They showed me land on what is known as Admiralty Way Road or something in Lekki. I did not buy it. So it cost me so much for wasting time and not taking advantage. And at those times, I had the money to buy Admiralty. I had the money to buy Banana. I had the money to buy the form for Lekki when it was 21,000. But something somewhere did not connect. They are today the opportunities I have missed terribly, and I had to just tell myself a few ouch and move on. All right.
Thank you, sir. What property would you have bought more if you could go back 20 years?
If I could go back 20 years, what I would have done in a place like Lagos is apartment, 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 apartment. Judging by what you heard me talk about today, in the next 24 years, Africa is going to balloon. Lagos is going to balloon. The median age is going to be low. The people who will be needing apartments. See, my generation who like to show up with 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom are cutting down. The new generation are finding that, look, 2-bedroom is okay for them. And they are able to run with their family in 2-bedroom, max 3-bedroom when the kids become teenagers. Other than that, so if I had the opportunity, in fact, looking back, very good question. I would have just been building apartments, 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 apartments. Because if you own those apartments, it just means that you may even not do yearly rent, because yearly rent is likely to put some people in trouble now in Lagos, because Lagos State is now flexing and saying we're going to fix the rent. Although I don't know how easy that is. First of all, your own rates for survey, for planning, for this is impossible. And you tend to raise it by 100% every year. And then you want to fix rent. You before you fix rent, fix yourself. So if I had the chance today, I'll build so many apartments. That's why my vision right now, because of my age, is to own those kind of small, small apartments for my grandchildren. Because those apartments, they almost can't go wrong. Imagine if you had 10 apartments and 8 of them are occupied weekly
Cash
with
flow.
with 100,000 naira daily. That's 800,000 naira every day. 800,000 naira every day. Imagine if you had 10 occupation, 1 million a day. 1 million a day is 365 million. Many of the people who are screaming in Nigeria, actually, they do not realize that, yeah, our government may have their issue, but some of us, we just don't have wealth creation, education. We had opportunities, we wasted. The Owambe parties in Nigeria and among Nigerians, whether home and abroad, including we who are here abroad, the Owambe money will buy an apartment. I hope I answered.
Oh, brilliant answer, sir. Because that gives you cash flow. Just like
Yes,
Pastor said, imagine you have 10 units.
yes,
Same way in the UK, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. The more you have, the better security you are giving your future. And there will be
yes,
opportunity for us tonight to see what's available. My next question, sir.
yes.
How has real estate helped preserve and multiply wealth compared to other investment classes?
Other investment classes tend to have their challenges. If you buy shares and stocks, you will have to wait 8 years, 14 years. If you put money in S&P 500, you have to go through the 843 principle. 8 years of just putting money, putting money, putting money, and it's only just having interest for 8 years, just interest for 8 years, just interest. The next 4 years, it will begin to double. If you keep putting, it will begin to double. And then the last 3 years, it will now go into compounding, 843. But with real estate, it can just happen that you have sacrificed, you have bought, and real estate can now return faster, better, greater. Real estate is faster than shares, better than shares. Real estate, in my opinion, is better and faster than agriculture. Even though I read agriculture among many things on my list, it is very difficult for a person in the diaspora to do agriculture because I know that there are people who are not who would not understand the Yoruba proverb, but the Yoruba proverb says, if you are not at home, your goat will give birth to one. And you cannot say, but I saw the stomach, it was so big, it should have given birth to four. Whenever you are not around, people want to take advantage. They can't steal your house, they can't carry it away. They cannot carry land, but they can steal in agriculture. They can steal in some other businesses compared. I mean, other businesses are doing well, but for the moment, in the Nigerian space, for the person in the diaspora, one of your best base for raising a lot of funds, which Europe may not give you, America may not give you, is for you to please not be sending money. Everybody says, I have a headache. You send money to them in Benin. I have a stomach ache. You send another one, Sabongida Ora. These guys are frittering all that you have. It's good to touch people's lives, but that is not investment. It would have even been better to build an investment and later to help those people. I don't know if I answered.
Yeah, Thank you, sir. A follow-up question to that would be, will you still choose property if you have
Any
to
day,
choose wealth all over again?
any day, anytime. Real estate is the only estate that is real.
Yeah.
Real estate is the only estate that is real. As you can see, I told you I was in the musical instrument space. Then I was in the bookshop space. I mean, my book distribution and sales was very big. And we're talking about probably almost 28 years ago, 30 years ago. Just importation of Bible alone was $250,000.
Mm.
$250,000 for just importation of Bibles, not to talk of 3,000 titles.
Mm.
I had a manager who will go to the booksellers convention every year in the US and will load containers. But you have issues. You have unnecessary competition that don't make sense. In fact, we also had a dramatic situation where maybe somebody was laundering money.
Mm.
They're selling it below the publisher's amount.
Wow.
So you are wondering, can you find this book more than the less than the amount the publisher himself is selling it? But when it comes to real estate, it was your money. You bought the land, you built real estate. And when you look, the first thing that was deeded in the Bible is real estate. Genesis 22 or 23, when Abraham collected a deed for the land where he was to bury his wife. And I was just watching 2 days ago, the Prime Minister of Israel have just opened a highway beside the place, calling it Highway 60. I've been to Israel 5, 6 times. I think next time I go, I'll tell them, drive me on Highway 60. So real estate. Let me just finish that particular question by saying I interacted with Lagos from 1973.
Mm.
90% of what you know of Lagos today was a forest.
Mm.
K2 was a bush where they will beg you to buy land. Okpebi, Allen Avenue was sold for 1,000 Naira. Tony Street beside Allen Avenue was 500 Naira. In fact, the only building on Tony Street in Ikeja was a Catholic church. And we used to wonder, what are these people doing in this bush? Who would ever imagine that that place, which is now the heart of the capital, was a forest? What we call Lekki today is was a sandy place. I'm trying to remember the name now. They had to chase the people who were occupying the place. What is the name now?
Morocco.
Morocco. You see, so value comes based on who's occupying and based on the quality of life, the quality of infrastructure, the quality and standard. Dust is still dust, but the demography on top of the dust determines the quality of that particular place. So if I had the chance to do any business again, it will still be real estate. And by the way, that's why you find that all the big names in tech now are keeping their money in lands. Bill Gates is one of the largest landowners in the United States of America. The owner of CNN used to own 1,000,000 acres. So real estate is the only estate that is real. In closing that answer, what we know today as Marina in Lagos was leased to the colonial masters, and that lease expired in 2004. Imagine the family that owned that land. They have the power to renegotiate and ask for whatever they want. I hope I answered.
Thank you so much for that answer. Real estate, real estate, real estate. It's what I've done for almost 39 years of my life too, and I can attest that you can't get it wrong. Now, it appreciates, it gives you cash flow, you can leverage, so many things you can do with real estate. If you want to buy stocks and shares today, your bank will not lend you money to buy stocks and shares. But you want to buy real estate, they will give you money. My
Yes.
question, sir,
Yes.
what do wealthy investors understand about leverage and mortgages that average investors miss?
The first thing about mortgage is that mortgage means you taking somebody else's money to get value, to buy value, to get leverage. For example, if you do not, and there are, some of us were raised with the philosophy of don't borrow, don't borrow. In fact, many of us who are also in church, there's a misinterpretation of that scripture that says, "Oh, no man anything but love," and so we don't owe, and we don't realize that we're not creating credit. Meanwhile, the money you left in savings account, somebody has been loaned that money. If all of us show up in bank tomorrow, there'll be no money there. So mortgage gives you the advantage to take and buy what you could not have bought. When we bought our first house in the United Kingdom in 1988, we didn't have the kind of cash. The house was 68,000 and they were only asking for, I think, 10% deposit or 5%. I can't remember. It's either 5 or 10%. That was all we had to put down. And then they spread the rest over 25 years. It gave us a house. It turned our what could have been rent to become payment for what will become ours. So that's what mortgage does. Now, leverage is from the word lever. It's the same thing inside the jack when your car has a flat tire and you use that tiny thing to lift the car. It's because a Greek philosopher called Aesop discovered the lever, and the lever lifts the car. Leverage, there are so many leverages. OPC is a leverage, other people's counseling, not OPC as in that movement in Nigeria. OPO is a leverage, other people's opinion. OPK, like tonight, other people's knowledge is a leverage. There are things we will share today. Somebody will say, wow, I never saw it that way. I never saw it that way. I mean, when I was young growing up, nobody told us that income and owning are not the same. In fact, we thought the more your salary, the better you are. We didn't know that the more what you own and that has value, not even the car, but the property. That's why you find people like Warren Buffett, they've not changed their car in years. You find somebody like Bill Gates, they've not changed their cars in years because leverage is so important. So leverage is you getting money to start something you couldn't have afforded, and then other people come for. Let me give you an example. You want to buy this house in my hand. You went and you took a mortgage to buy it. It becomes a leverage. People who are now paying rent inside that house are helping you to pay back what you went to borrow. I don't know if I answered.
Yeah, perfectly, perfectly. You see, leverage enables you to do more. So simple. Leverage, and a lot of us in the diaspora, we have the opportunity. We live in a home that is mortgage free. We can raise money from that property to do more, even if it's not in Africa, even in the UK. 1 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8.
Yes.
Just the pastor said, if you have 10 apartments in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria, because we just showing you opportunity. We're going to show you opportunity tonight. Lagos is one of the best places to invest in Nigeria. But at the same time, if you don't want to do Lagos, even your own state, but wise people are investing in Lagos.
Yes.
And we have opportunity to showcase what we have for you tonight.
Yes.
And I'm just going to quickly rush into the 3 more questions so that we can show you the opportunity tonight.
Sure.
Pastor, what characteristics do you look for before investing in a development project?
One of the things you want to look for in a development project is this project being backed by people with good reputation? 2, good documentation. In real estate in Nigeria, it is 5 fingers. I will mention 3 out of the 5. Number 1, documentation. Documentation is so major in Nigeria, and I cannot overemphasize that. My relations, were given portions of land in a part of Ile-Ife, Osun State for farming. When there came an argument, I don't know what to call it, it is intercultural argument, they threw them out. And they could throw them out because there's no documentation. It was just Omoluabi agreement, word of mouth. In 2026, you need documentation. That's number 1. Number 2 is occupation. You need to be sure that the people who are selling to you, they are occupying the place, not standing far away and say, look at that land there. You know, sometimes I see that in Nollywood. They say, from that Udara tree to that palm tree is what I'm selling. No. Documentation, occupation. Those 2 are so major. In fact, if anybody had court case on land and the lawyers and the judge says maintain status quo, whoever is maintaining status quo on the land is already 2/3 winner somehow. Number 3 is to see progression. So documentation, occupation, progression in work. Once you can see progress in the work, that is a good testimony. Then the person, number 4, should do their own due diligence. Despite all the drama we have with Africa, I can vouch for Lagos State. If you bought a plot in Macarius and we gave you the survey and the land, you just take it to Lagos State. Your lawyer, they just, once they type, the survey plan will bring out your name because we had submitted your name. The survey plan in their office too will bring out your name. It will say this plot is in Macarius. And if we've given them your name, it will bring out your name. Those are the kind of indices a person who lives abroad can have. Then I believe somebody may also say, but I don't go to Nigeria that much. Well, as you can see, I tell you, these past 2 days I've been a bit worried because for some reason, what's popping up on my YouTube are all these immigration cases. ICE is pressurizing Nigerians. The UK, you're having the Reformed Party becoming strong, and people are now protesting on street. Hey, people should leave our country. You see, the day is gonna come when some people will be the ones who want to willingly go. They have something bigger, better, greater that they are doing in their country. And of course, we've shared it tonight. The next biggest thing that's going to hit the world in the next 24 years, I pray that I'll be alive to see it. It's going to be Africa. Africa is going to be the next biggest thing that will hit the world. The next biggest on all indices. All these troubles we are seeing, they will stabilize eventually. The next biggest thing that will hit is going to be Africa.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we all know that the richest man in Africa is from the country of Nigeria.
Yes.
In the next 2 years, the biggest refinery in the world will be in Nigeria. As we speak, a pipeline is coming from Nigeria that is going to come to Europe to supply gas.
Wow.
Don't look down on your country. Things are happening.
Yes.
2 years ago, sir, I invested in the IPO of Zenith Bank at 36 Naira. As we speak, is about 130 Naira.
Wow.
Over 300% return in 2 years.
Wow.
Okay? Real estate, Macarius, as of 2 years ago, Pastor just told us. In fact, let's leave 2 years ago. December, when we had the road show, some people bought Pastor,
A
maybe you want to
two-bedroom
tell us the square
apartment.
meter.
Yeah, they bought a two-bedroom apartment at 80 million naira. It's now 113 million naira.
You can see
Just
80 to
between
130
December
million.
and now.
Just that. So the first mover advantage,
Yes.
pound sterling was almost £1 to almost 210. That pound value is, the naira is strengthening gradually. It's
Yeah.
almost 1,850 now. So
Yes.
don't let that erosion catch up with you. Invest, invest, invest. In fact, I'm investing and I'm going to continue to invest.
Yes.
So you guys don't sit on the fence. One of the questions we had was, delay could cost us so much. Pastor shared what delay cost him. So my next question quickly, sir.
Yes.
You probably touched it before, but I'm just going to want you to re-echo it. Nigerian population is projected to continue growing significantly.
Yes.
What opportunities do you see in residential real estate over the next 10, 20 years?
I think the question is already answered. Number one, Africa is going to experience 60% urban migration. 60%. Part of the challenge, of course, you and I know this. Our nations, our governments are not thinking of siting industries in my village of Odeomo, Osun State. Everything is centered around the large cities. It's also a European problem. London is bigger, London gets bigger, but London does not grow as fast as Africa. I moved to London 42 years ago when it was 5 million. 42 years later, it's 8 million, only three added. Lagos has exploded to 24 million. Every time I go now, every area looks like it's like the whole world lives here. And so demography is going to explode. Therefore, real estate is going to have intense, unusual value. Number two, for those who are on the platform today, let me tell you a hard truth. Just 3 years ago, to rent a beautiful house in Ikeja GRA was only 8 million. This year is 30 million. So it's no longer times three. The same house is being offered for 25 plus service charge plus this is over 30 million. Now, so the person who bought that house, no matter how hard the economy is, if they had four of those houses, they made 120 million every year. And if they didn't have much expenses, they are taken care of. So the biggest thing that will happen because of the magnitude of growth that Lagos will experience, that's one. Number two, because of the intensity of development that is coming there. Number three, because of the projection of population for Africa and Nigeria having a slice of it. Nigeria is going to be 400 million by 2050. Somewhere between 389 and 400 million. America will remain at 388 to 390 million. So Nigeria will overtake America in demography, in size, not in economy. So, but you see, whenever you have mass, you have opportunity. If a person wants to sell this cup, they need mass. If you now have a lot of people, you have the number of people to sell it to. If you don't have many people, then the value goes down. Let me just add this. If you now look at the whole of Africa, number one real estate place in the whole of Africa is Lagos. Number two is Egypt. Number three used to be Johannesburg. Johannesburg, with all the crime and the devaluation of their currency, has gone down. So Abuja has taken over as number three. So number 4 and 5 is now a fight between Port Harcourt and Cape Town. I think Cape Town is on top because Port Harcourt has the challenge of some people leaving the place also. So real estate is ever expanding, ever exploding. You find that when you even hear the value of the land, you're just shocked. A pastor wanted to buy land in a place called I can't remember now, just after Ibrahim Adisa and that Lekki Express. We found them 2 plots for 30 million that time. And they said, oh, can they not, is it not expensive? By the time I saw their son this April at a wedding, I said, your parents missed a plot of land 5 years ago. He said, yes, we're now paying the amount you told us as rent in a place lesser than that land. And the land, which was 30 that time, is now 300.
Mm.
They've missed it. So mass, the population growth of Africa, the population growth of Lagos, the population growth of Nigeria
I don't think so.
makes makes
I'm
it very major, so
knowing
that
you for
it
40
is
years.
it cannot go down. All right. I don't know if I answered that question.
That was a good one. Thank you so much, sir. Lagos is still a desirable place for us to
Yes.
invest any day, anytime. So you please make yourself please honored.
Okay.
My second, well, one more or two more questions, and I'll go to the floor.
Sure.
If you're advising in Nigeria in the diaspora with 20 to 60,000 pounds right now,
Yes.
to invest today, what strategy will you recommend?
Again, I use the illustration of my son's father-in-law who took over a house and is making 150,000 naira a day. Now, for the people who are paying him 150,000 naira, they feel this is great. A whole house for just about $100. If they had stayed in Sheraton, Sheraton would charge more. If they had stayed in Ikoyi Hotel, Ikoyi Hotel has gone down. Ikoyi Hotel, they'll pay more. A person who gets that kind of money, if I were to start all over and I needed to do what you just said, I'll take that money and use it as deposit, maybe on 2 apartments. In fact, somebody who wanted the Macarius apartment said, I want 2. I don't want anybody to sleep on my bed. I don't see why. It's a matter of you removing the sheets and putting new sheets when you come and you are the one. So if you have that kind of money, sometimes instead of even now going to build a big house all over and getting relations who will come and be hangers on, and it is making no money at all, like the first house I built in my life, you just use that and probably put it as deposit on 2 apartments. When you put it on 2 apartments, it puts you on the spot. We now spread out, for example, in Macarius, your payments over 24 months. So over 24 months, you are paying the balance. You are paying the balance. You now have something that is directed. You're going to have 2 apartments. My son, whom I said had a baby, I went to see the baby as soon as I came into England. And I was leaving, I saw that his neighborhood was full of bungalows. So I quickly Googled to check how much they sell bungalows in the area where my son lives. And I'm so shocked. The bungalows are for 50,000 pounds. I'm thinking the 50,000 pounds on top of it is enough for a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment that will be making at least $50 a day. My God, imagine if we really get you tenants and it's making $50 a day. That means in 10 days, you have made $500 without you living where you work. So it means it is another stream bringing money without you batting an eye. It is just flowing. And if a person is smart, the same money could have again be used, because that's one of the smartest thing to do, not to spend that money, but to say, hey, Macarius, help me to use it to deposit on another one. Although by that time, the price may have changed again.
It will change. It's been changing, Pastor. So People need to
They need to take advantage. Yeah.
You see, for those of us in the UK and that have been watching the property market,
Yes.
when I came to UK, Newham, Borough, Dagenham, a two bed is like about 60, 70,000 pounds. Today, those locations, you struggle to get a property for 350,000 pounds.
Yes.
And that is a fraction of what Macarius is even saying to us.
Yes.
So the opportunity for us tonight is that as little as 60, 70, 80, 100,000 pounds, you can own something in Nigeria that is your own.
Yes.
Absolutely, without a mortgage. And you can do a remortgage in the UK and buy outrightly or make a deposit like Pastor said. And before my last question, sir,
Yes.
I want us to showcase some of the product we have tonight.
Okay.
Mr. Kayode, are you where you are? Could you help us share some of the products that we have in Nigeria for our viewers to just see what is on offer tonight before we tell you the prices? Villagio, preferably, please. Oh,
Okay. You want me to comment on the Villagio, or you want me to ask me a question?
yeah, I wanted them to share a video, but you can just tell us about the Villagio, sir.
Yeah, the video was played. I didn't. Maybe I was
didn't
on.
see it.
Oh, okay. I saw it. They played. Maybe you play it one more time so they can. I'm at Ashimolowo. This is Macarius Champions Place, where we are building the.
Let me share from my end if they can, because it seems
Okay.
the same.
Explain again. Did you see it?
They are saying they can't see it.
Oh. Okay. Oh, the people on the platform did not see it.
That's what they are saying.
Villagio Apartments. Okay. The Villagio Apartments will be sitting on 7th Ashimolowo. This is Macarius Champions Place, where we are building the Villagio Apartments. The Villagio Apartments will be sitting on 78 piles. You want to know how tall each pile is? Look at this. This is 6 meters. And yet this is just about halfway of each of the piles that will carry the building, so that we are guaranteeing the buildings will be here 100 years to come.
Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to Macarius Champions. This is the Villagio, and it's going to go on 4 suspended floors, and we are currently at the foundation work. So presently, the piling work is going on. The pile work, we have 78 pile points, which we have successfully driven the 78 pile points. So what we are doing now is to institute the pile caps. That's why we are having this excavation around the pile points. So the pile cap is to tie all the pile points together so that we can put the structure on it. So what we are doing now is to test the integrity of the pile. There are 2 tests we are going to do on this pile before bringing the loading. We are going to do the pile integrity test and the pile load test. So currently the pile integrity test is going on. This to determine the integrity of each of the pile points. So we can come closer. So this is a integrity test that is going on. It works on an impulse system. You generate a force to bring an impulse in the pile. Be able to determine the depth and be sure of what is there. We are about to test the point. Several points have been tested. So after this, we'll still now come on the pile load test. That will involve loading the piles to determine their stability. After the test and we are sure that the piles are okay and they are intact, then we start the pile cap and then the columns for the structure will commence from there. We are done with the piling for the first building. We are undertaking 2 buildings concurrently. We are done with the pile point for one. We have 78 pile points for each building. So you can see the other building is the one there that we are moving to, but we are already done with the piling work here. That's why we are carrying out the integrity test to be sure that this building is set to go while we move on to the piling of the second building.
All right.
One more video, sir.
Oh, you want to play another one? I thought
One more.
Most people buying land in Lekki are stuck. Years go by, no development, no income, just capital sitting idle. But serious investors don't wait. They position. They choose Villagio apartment, where your investment starts working from day one. Rental income, high demand location, real consistent returns. Land banking is speculation. Villagio is strategy. If you're building wealth, don't wait to win. Start earning. Secure your unit today.
Right.
Hey, Pastor,
Yes, please.
I know so much has gone into the Villagio, and the opportunity is there for anyone that is serious tonight. This is what sometimes in the UK or in the West, they say off plan.
Yes.
Definitely, if you key in now, in another 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you will enjoy the benefit of early birds. And that is what we want to present to you tonight. So, Pastor, could you run us through what is on offer with Villagio tonight?
All right. The Villagio is a very special concept. We have 2 estates in Lekki. The first one is called Macarius Luxury Place. The second one is called Macarius Champions Place. On Macarius Champions Place, you can buy plots on Arsenal Street, Liverpool Street, and we have 12 or 14 streets in the names of major English Premier League football clubs and a few outside of English Premier League. Beside the Champions, or as part of it, is the Villagio. So the Villagio is an estate attached to an estate. So you come through the gate of Macarius Champions Place, and you now drive into another gate to go to the Villagio, where there will be 11 major buildings. In each building, there are apartments. At the base, at the ground level, there are studios. At the first to the fifth, ground level, there are studios, and the first to the fourth floor, which makes it 5 floors really, there are either 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom. Currently, we have had shows in New York. We have had shows in London. And right as I speak to you, 2 buildings are already gone in the sale. People have already subscribed to Block 1 and Block 2. And if you saw that video, the engineer was explaining the amount of work which is going to go into it. So the Villagio is a prime, beautiful, nice, smart set of apartments, a place where you can find comfort, serenity, community, security. It's a beautiful place, which if you come from the diaspora, you can stay in your apartment. And then if you want it rented out, you can rent it out. If you want it as a baby Airbnb, you can hand it over for us to manage for you or somebody else to manage for you. People have subscribed in New York. They got excited about it. People have subscribed here in London the first time we made the presentation. And today we are making the presentation. You can either subscribe to the studio. And what you could do is once you make a deposit, you can spread the balance over 24 months. And when you spread the balance over 24 months, we are not going to put any extra on top of you. There's no interest for the 24 months as long as you pay the monies. And the payments are very easy for the Villagio. For the 1 bedroom is 83 million if you take advantage right now. For the 2 bedroom, it is 110 million. For the 3 bedroom, it is 138 million. And although we are mentioning it in the millions, you can now take it back to the pound or the dollar and then make your immediate deposit to it a good deposit. A place is secure for you, and then you begin to pay. And it's first come, first serve. There are people whom, when we launched it in New York, they paid for their apartment up front, total. It means they will be the first to be allocated. If today somebody pays fully, they will overtake a person who is paying gradually. So, but one thing is sure, you start paying in 24 months, an apartment will be handed to you. You saw the engineers, you saw them at work. And as we speak right now, a lot of work has gone into it, and a lot of work is going into it. So one more time, 1 bedroom is 83, 2 bedroom is 110 million, 3 bedroom is 138 million. And people have subscribed. It's going to be beautiful apartments, which if you now have it and it's being put out there for Airbnb, it also means you're making your money back. You're making your money back. You can now even use the money that is made to invest again and buy something else. You can buy a plot in Macarius or buy another Macarius Villagio apartment. So that's the Villagio. I don't know if there's an area you wanted me to clarify.
Thank you, sir. I was just trying to do a conversion.
Yes.
To pounds.
Yes.
Using 1850, one pound to 1,850 naira. If we do that conversion, the 1 bedroom will be about 45,000 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And the 2 bed will be just below 60,000 pounds.
Okay.
And the 3-bed will be about 71,000 pounds.
Yes.
So 1 bedroom for 45,000 pounds, 2 bedroom for 60,000 pounds, and 3 bedroom for 71,000 as of today, because I don't exchange rate fluctuates.
Yes.
I don't know anywhere in London that you can get a 1 bed or 2 bed or 3 bed for these prices.
1 bedroom in London now is running at 120,000 to 200,000 pounds.
So, guys, let's make our money work harder, faster for us. This is a wonderful opportunity. And I've been to sites many times myself, and things are happening. In the next 24 months, you don't want to do, ouch, I wish I took advantage. So,
Yes.
presenting the Villagio to you guys tonight. If there are questions, we will just signify and we'll allow you to ask your question directly rather than me reading what is on the notes. If you have any questions, signify with the reaction button. I know Sarah wants to talk. Sarah, you are the first person I can see there. Unmute yourself and ask your question directly to Pastor Matthew.
Good evening, Pastor Matthew. Thank you, Mr. Mayowa. It's been a very insightful session. I just wanted to ask, sorry if I missed it, if you said it previously. When is the expected completion date?
Thank you very much for your question. The first building, which is already started, is likely to be ready in a year's time. So it is dependent on when a person subscribe. As far as we are concerned, we just want to keep building. We are building 11 buildings. And before the end of this year, we feel that 2 buildings will have reached full carcass level before the end of this year. Sometimes some of these delays are particularly not us. It's because Lagos State being particular about buildings that are 4 or 5 floors to avoid collapse and so on and so forth. They have to come and check very little details. Those caps, I don't know if you saw the video when they were showing the piling. And the piling is a serious expensive thing with 14-meter pillars going deep into the ground. The first 2 buildings will be carried with 78 pillars underground each. So those are the things that delay. Other than that, the reason we are giving everyone the role on the platform 24 months is in order for us to under promise and over deliver. So if you pay, if you'll find that we would have achieved it before you finish. Before you finish payment, your building is ready.
So to
Thank
add,
you.
what Pastor is saying is the project is 24 months, and it also gives people flexibility, those who can't pay upfront, that wants to pay on installments. So you have 24 months interest-free to pay.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a wonderful opportunity. It's more like where your mortgage, we're giving you mortgage indirectly. If you spread it for 24 months.
As it stands, we'll just be building, and we can say categorically that we are on point right now, and we'll be able to cope if 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people pay. We'll be able to cope because the land is there. We now know how to work with Lagos State to get the approval, and we're moving on. And like I said, before the end of this year, 2 buildings should be standing with everything completed. And then, we're also creating a system whereby there is a team managing each one.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
You're
And my
welcome.
next question is, you mentioned that there's a 24-month interest-free period. So what happens if someone has to go over that 24 months? What's the interest rate?
Well, if you go over the 24 months, I think we may have to take a view. 1, look at your economic circumstance. 2, we may have to take a view, and probably we wouldn't slap on you the Nigerian banking rate. That is very killing. We may ask you to do something like 5-10% above. I'm only speaking off the cuff. I will sit down with my team and say, look, if somebody goes over, maybe we could just ask for 10% on top of what they have gone over. Other than that, it's one of the You see, nobody does this kind of thing and does it interest free. They put interest on it, firstly, because of the fluctuation of the currency of the nation. Secondly, because of the fact that we need your money to do the work, because it is as your money comes in that we're doing the work. Yes, we also have our money in house, but your payment helps. However, uh, we would not want to put an interest that makes it almost unbearable on the person again, maybe 10%, something like that.
Thank you, sir. Rob, I've got your hands raised. Unmute yourself and quickly ask your question. Rob, Ayakana?
Yes, my question is, I'm not Nigerian. Can I still
Please
buy?
go, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not Nigerian. Can I still buy, invest in property in Macarius?
Your name sounds Zimbabwean. Where are you from?
I'm Ugandan, but
Okay,
I'm a UK
all right.
citizen as well. So,
Sure, sure. You can invest in Macarius. Macarius is trying to make itself an example to the whole of the African continent. It is a legacy project. And like I said in the beginning of my teaching, having people come into Africa who really have no interest in leaving anything in Africa. I mentioned the Indomie, for example. Uh, 510 billion naira of Indomie is consumed by Nigerians. It's become probably the most popular food or second popular food, I don't know. And only 2% investment. If you're interested, of course, you can invest in Macarius, and your investment will be protected. Nigeria allows external people to come and invest to own real estate in Nigeria. The Nigerian law allows it. All right.
Thank you so
thank you
much.
very much.
Okay.
It's not different from people buy property in Dubai. People
Yeah.
buy property in some part of Europe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as long as you have your title and
Yeah.
you can prove your source of funds.
Yes.
Just like you have money laundering in the UK, there's also money laundering in Nigeria as well.
Yes.
As long as you can prove your earnings, you
Yes.
can buy
Very,
money.
very good statement, very good point there, because the new law in Nigeria is companies like Macarius must have to declare your payment as once it is more
Sumo,
than 5 million, so that we can show that, look, this money came in from Mr. XYZ, they are buying from us.
Akimbode, unmute yourself, sir, and let's have your question.
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you, sir. Pastor Matthew, thank you very much for this opportunity. So
Welcome.
my question is this, sir. You talked about we can pay in um, installments. So how do we go about doing that if you don't have any account in Nigeria? How do you do that? And also, I think you said about we can make the payment in 24 months. So if it is 60,000 pounds, so I'm guessing it will be like maybe $70,000. So if we want to do the investment, how can we do that?
Very good
So,
question. Number one, we'll give you a foreign account. For the moment, it's a British account. And if you just instruct your bank I suspect you're either in the United States or Canada. Whereabouts are you?
yes, sir, from Bowie,
Okay.
Maryland, sir.
Oh, Maryland. All right. So we'll just give you the account of Macarius, and you'll be able to pay to the sister company Macarius, which is called Meridian Properties here in the UK. And the link is also in the chat. The link to the account is in the chat. If you check, you see the link, and you can take the form, fill the form, make your initial payment, and then your monthly payment. And once your payment is made, Nigeria will send you receipts, and every time you make your monthly payment, they'll be sending you receipts, and they'll be keeping you updated as the property is going on. Uh, We want to open an account in the US. We have just finished registration. As you know, in these new days, opening an account in the US or in the Western Hemisphere is like pulling teeth without anesthesis. But we still are making effort to open a Macarius account in the US. But for the moment, you pay it into our sister company here in the UK called Meridian Properties. Matter of fact, Meridian Properties is the name of the holding company that holds all the title of all our land. So you'll be in safe hand. You'll be able to make your payment. You just make your transfer from the US. It comes to the account here. Others who have bought from the US when we're in New York, who are making their payments, that's the way they are making their payments. Those who have bought in the UK, who are making their payments, that's the way they are making their payments. Those who have Naira, we make it flexible. You have Naira, you're able to pay. Our friend from Uganda, you just fill the form and make his payment through the account here in the UK. And Kosha will have an apartment ready for you and be keeping you posted, keeping you updated on what is going on. And we really appreciate that you really follow through.
For
Thank you, sir.
anyone that wants to show interest, we have a link on the chat box. Just register and our team member will reach out to you in the course of this coming week. Atinuke Onifade, unmute yourself and ask your question or your testimony. Atinuke Onifade.
There's another one, Onyebuchi Adelakun.
Onyebuchi, go ahead if Atinuke is not available.
Okay, I'm available. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Okay, hello.
It's not a question, it's just a testimony I have about Macarius. It's not a question, it's a testimony. Can you hear me, please?
2 minutes,
Sure.
Atinuke, 2 minutes, please.
No, it's a testimony. I like this one.
Okay, the testimony I had is that last year when I subscribed to Macarius, I bought one property that's 3-bedroom, and before the end of the new price, I bought another one. So but that's I have 2 units, one 3-bedroom, one 2-bedroom for the Villagio. So when those people that normally come from direct or came from Nigeria, I went to their show. So they now asked me that, do you have any property in Nigeria? I said, yes. I said, I have property with Macarius. They said, wow, madam, you need to buy property from us. I said, why? He said, Macarius is very expensive. I said, why do you say it's expensive? He said, because of the infrastructure Pastor Martin is putting on in that Macarius, it makes it that they can't measure with them. That's it. Yeah, I'm telling you, I have 2 that went there. They say because they can't measure with it. That's why I was just like, I was blowing my trumpet. I said, oh, I'm Macarius. I have a property in Macarius. They're saying that the number of infrastructure the Matapasti is putting on that, nobody can beat it. So I'll just advise some of us here that you can go for Macarius. And the property I bought, within 3 months, the price has increased. That means I'm making profits.
Yes.
So they can testify. Those people in Nigeria, they know what they are doing there. They know what they are putting in there. So they are just coming to me. They even send me a message as of today that, madam, please, can you buy from? I said, no. If it's not Macarius, it can't be anyone. Thank you very much, Pastor Matthew.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you. That's a good one. Thank you, sis.
Very good one.
To add to that, you see, infrastructure.
Yes, they are so particular about the infrastructure.
It's what makes real estate.
Yeah, they said it's expensive, but they are just coming to me that I have a big money that please. I said, no, if it's not Macarius, you know what he's doing. Why can't you do that? If it's expensive, people will go for it, but do something tangible and let people pay for it. They're now saying that they are looking, the way they are looking at me, I was so proud of myself that no, thank God I invest in Macarius.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Onyebuchi, quickly.
Yes. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Pastor Matthew. I want to say a big thank you to you for your words of encouragement, especially on Morning Glow.
Okay.
I want to say thank you. God is using you mightily. My question is, I know I missed Macarius the first time you introduced it in church. I actually put down a deposit of £500, but at that point, it was difficult for me to like continue, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be given time to make the payment. But my question is, do you have a 36 months plan that is interest free? I don't know, but I just want to ask that question. And also, if we are interested, what is the breakdown for each month? I just want to know that. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
I think for Onyebuchi, the very first thing I would say is thank you for at least showing interest. We don't have a 36 months program. However, what I will have encouraged you is never walk away from real estate. Even if you can't buy the apartment, you can buy the land. The land is not as expensive. That is in Champions Place. The land is not as expensive as the apartment. And that gives you a stepping in. So my suggestion will be to you, still collect the form, put your story there, and then we'll deal with your case on a one-on-one basis. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Margaret Oyewusi. Unmute yourself, ma. We can't hear you. You are unmute yourself, Madam Margaret. You are.
All right.
Yes, we can hear you now, ma.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Matthew. God bless you. I just want to find out if you are willing to pay the cash down, all of it. Is there any discount?
What are you buying? 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
We are buying a 3-bedroom.
Yes.
If you fill the form today, we might just consider and give you a 5 to 7% discount.
Why not 10?
Because even the real estate realtors who sell on our behalf, we don't give them 10. We don't give them more than 8. If you buy today, if you fill the form today, we'll give you a 7% discount, and it means you also will get priority in the first building.
Okay.
You get maybe in the first or second building. I'm not sure what we're doing in the first building. If it's all 2-bedroom, maybe in the second building. So if we'll be able to give you 5 to 7%. If you can I see the figure for the 3-bedroom again? I think it's 130 million.
130 million.
So I'm prepared to give you what is 10 million out of 130 million now? Oh no, what is 15 million out of 130 million now? 15 million out of 138 million. Okay, it's 138 there. Okay, I can give you 18 million free.
18 million free. And that will bring it to what?
That's almost 11, more than 11%.
Okay, let's stay at 10%. Let's stay at 10%. Okay,
10%
we'll take your
will be
10%.
10% will be 13 million discount.
Madam, you are crushing it by asking for such a discount. If you pay next week, we'll give you your 10%.
So 10% will be
13.8. That's a lot of giving.
That will be 30 what?
13,800,000.
13,800,000.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's the name again?
Which name?
I mean, what's your name?
Margaret Oyewusi.
Okay, Margaret Oyewusi.
Yes.
Is this from the UK or the US or Canada or where?
In UK.
Okay. So give you the 10%, but you have to pay next week. If it exceeds next week, it will come down to 7%.
Okay. So
thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Any more questions?
I think we've dealt with all the questions.
We have our contacts on the chat box. Register, show your interest. Contacts are there. after this meeting, you can call any one of us.
And there are people also online right now who are ready to take some of their calls.
Yeah.
I think there are Nigerian numbers. People are ready to take the calls.
30 minutes, 600. Okay.
So please take advantage of tonight. If you have questions, ask your questions. You might just find that in 24 months, this is the kind of money you're able to pay. And before you know, you own a 1-bedroom, you own a 2-bedroom apartment in Lagos. And it becomes yours. It's yours. It's a place you can stay. And it's a place you can also be making money while you are away. So money is being made for you in Nigeria.
Okay.
Capital appreciation is one of the biggest reasons why people invest in real estate.
In fact, and can you believe, Mr. Mayo? Can you believe, Mr. Mayo, that even me, I've made deposit for 2.
Wow.
For my grandchildren.
Fantastic.
I made a deposit. I paid Macarius 50 million naira the other day. I said, this deposit for my grandchildren's apartment. So, yeah, because I wanted it to be properly structured. Properly structured.
That's what the Bible says. A good father leaves inheritance for his children.
Yes.
That's legacy.
Yes.
But that is like one of my last questions. What legacy as property investing enable you to build for future generations, sir?
Well, I have a foundation where I'm dropping literally 2 apartments for my grandchildren. I'll put it in a foundation. I'll make it such that they cannot sell it. They'll be enjoying the benefit of the properties, and then they'll pass it to anybody who bears my name. Those ones who will benefit, their children will benefit, their grandchildren will continue to benefit. Anyone who came out of me will continue to benefit. Wow. That's what we don't do in Africa. Do you know land which we've been talking about? Bond Street, Oxford Street, Regent Street, the key part of London was once a land that was given as dowry to marry the great grandmother of the Duke of Westminster. Today, the dukedom is worth 15 billion pounds, not from any work, but from real estate and the payment London makes to the dukedom every year.
Wow.
So if people can take advantage of either Macarius land or Macarius apartments, look at the testimony of that lady. Wow. Somebody's trying to demarket, and she said, no. You are also telling me now that their infrastructure is great. That's part of the challenge Macarius is facing. Somebody goes out trying to demarket us. But in the process of demarketing, they had said the nice thing. I think there are 1 or 2 more hands, Mr. Mayo.
Yes. Kumi Adebiyi, please. Kumi Adebiyi, can you unmute and ask your question, please?
Oh, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, you can go.
Hello, good evening. Please, can I ask, are the properties finished?
Is that pastor is asking if the property is finished?
It's finished, furniture.
Oh, furnished.
Oh, okay.
Furnished.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, the apartments are not furnished. You will have to be the one to furnish it to your taste. That amount is for a finished building, a finished apartment. And then you furnish. Of course, when you want to now use it for Airbnb, we'll let you know how much furniture will be. And I think the furnishing of it is, number 1, dependent on you. Number 2, dependent
like a
on what?
2-bedroom.
Yeah, it will be dependent on what you want to do. But don't let that one discourage you. You should still take advantage of it. But the furnishing is a separate thing. We can
Okay.
always get realistic, inexpensive furnishing for you when that time comes.
Right. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
SPM.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Right. Bye.
Bolanle,
Is there anybody we can contact?
The form, is
Phone.
that Bolanle asking?
The phone.
yes.
No.
Okay, who's asking?
It's Margaret.
Margaret. Okay, the phone there in the chat box. Can you see the number in the chat box?
And I have to go because with computer, I'm using my phone.
Okay, if you test on if I have your number, I can call you, ma.
Can I give you my number then?
Yeah.
07956
07956. Yeah. Mommy Margaret, 07956.
07956
Yeah.
984
Mm-hmm.
276.
276. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
When
you,
do you want me
Margaret.
to call you, ma?
You can call me anytime next week.
Okay. I will call
Because I want to discuss with my children as well.
All right.
No problem, ma.
That's
Thank
good.
you, ma.
I think Kemi is back.
Bolanle.
Bolanle.
Good evening, sirs.
Good evening. Is this
Good
Bolanle
evening,
Adekale?
Daddy Ashimolowo. God bless you, Daddy.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask the lands are they freehold or leasehold?
Thank you very much for your question. In Nigeria, what you have is certificate of occupancy. And that certificate of occupancy covers you. The word freehold is no longer used in Nigeria. It was stopped in 1978.
Oh my God.
I guess you live in the United Kingdom?
Yes, sir.
In 1978, the head of state then, General Obasanjo, nationalized all the land. And having nationalized all the land, he now made all the land belonging to government, even though families are still claiming that they are the owners of the land, but they don't really own. So it is as a result of that a certificate of occupancy was introduced. But the certificate of occupancy gives you 99 years. And that gives you a lot of peace of mind, 99 years. So a certificate of occupancy. And Macarius Champions Place, where these apartments are, is actually coming to us through government allocation. Lagos State allocated the land. So that gives peace of mind. And so if you are buying Macarius land, you get it in a place where we already have the certificate of occupancy and we already have the government allocation. But the word freehold is no longer used in Nigeria. It was stopped in 1978.
Thank you, Daddy, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate you, sir. Yes,
welcome,
sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I think it's Kemi Adebi.
Kumi Adebi, I think she's here.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. Good evening, sirs. Thank you for the session. I would like to ask how so I'm a realtor in Lagos, Nigeria. I would like to also sell for Macarius. How do I register as a realtor?
Where do you live?
I live in Lekki Phase 1.
Okay, that's very easy. Do you have Macarius number?
No, I don't.
Okay. We can give you the number tonight if you just let me see if you leave your number.
If you put your number on the contact on the chat box, somebody will reach out to you.
Okay, all right, I'll do that right.
Yes, and also put the fact that you are a realtor there.
Realtor, yeah.
Okay,
pick
all
it
right.
up.
Yes.
And that's a very good question for those of you in the US, Canada as well. If you want to be an agent,
yes,
let us know.
Yes.
As many people that wants to be part of this, even in the UK, anywhere you are, you think you have the skill set to market this. It's an opportunity for you to create wealth, to make money.
You might even just pay off. You might pay off your own building by marketing Macarius.
Yep.
So one more time, we like to challenge everybody to take advantage, take advantage. Okay, I see some questions on the screen. Is the structure for governors owning the land not a bottleneck? I believe this, I don't understand this question. I believe
That's why I
this.
wanted them to raise up their hands and ask their
I
question.
believe they
I
signed
didn't
it.
get
No,
that
when a
one.
governor signs a certificate, okay, I saw the question. When a governor signs a certificate of occupancy, he's only signing it to say, this state have now signed this portion of land to Macarius. It does not make the governor to be the owner. It is the government who owns the land technically. That's what happened since 1978. However, once you buy your land, once you get your governor's consent, it does not belong to the government again, it belongs to you. So it belongs to us. The land belongs to us. Okay, Kumi's number is already there. I believe our staff will be able to pick it up now. And then the Macarius number is also on the screen for her to pick up. But I hope that is clear. C of O is the highest documentation in Nigeria, certificate of occupancy. And then, or if you go for governor's consent, they are basically the same thing. Certificate of occupancy, governor's consent, both are signed by the governor. So it gives you the opportunity to have genuine document, but it does not mean that the land belongs to the government anymore. Rather, it now means that it has been extracted out of what the government used to own, and it now belongs to you. Okay. Is there a service charge? Certainly. When the Macarius champion, when the Villagio begins to operate, there will be a service charge because in each Villagio block, there is a lift. We will have staff to clean the premises, to manage the lift, to manage the general electrical space. There will be need for service charge. That will be determined at the time when the building is completed and the total computation has been done.
So there's a question somebody was asking if two people can team up to buy an apartment.
Certainly. I mean, when two of you come together and you have an agreement that you want to own an apartment together, I think it's a smart one. It might just be a smart way to buy and one day lease it out. And as you are making money, you are making it together. And by the time you are selling, it had gained value if you want to sell the apartment. I think it's a smart way to own rather than wanting to own and unable to buy. So I think it's a good yes. Any other one? Somebody's asking if the CFO is renewable after 99 years. I will not be around that time, but I'm,
Yes,
I'm very sure.
it's renewable.
You can never tell.
I'm already 74. I think I like to be in heaven by that time. I like to be in heaven in 99 years' time. But certainly there will be a renewal of the certificate of occupancy. And by the way, all the properties are already on the land and the whole place will have been developed totally by that time. Yes, you get a deed of assignment that deeds your house to you, your apartment to you, or your land to you, and your deed is tied to the certificate of occupancy of the land that belongs to Macarius. So you are part of the ownership from then on. Is there any other question? Please.
Macarius has the old certificate of ownership. What do individual buying the property get? What title?
What they get is a deed of assignment that ties their property to the certificate of occupancy. They can choose to take their deed for governor's consent. It's a drama in Nigeria. Once you get a deed from us, you are good, you are fine. because there is a certificate of occupancy covering the whole place. Some people like to do what we call tautology. They carry the deed we give them for the governor to sign again, which is just like double ownership. It's okay. It works. Okay.
Some people are asking for the recording. If you go on YouTube, we're actually live on YouTube as we speak.
Tonight is live on YouTube, and you will be able to watch everything from start to finish one more time on YouTube. But please take action. Take action. And
we have 2-3 more minutes if there. Okay. Sil Aneru, I can see your hand. Ask your question.
Good evening.
I'm going to take 2-3 more questions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Thank you so
madam.
much, sir, for this powerful meeting. I'm interested in a 1-bed or 2-bed apartment to kick off with. How much will my deposit be if I have to register to pay today?
20%.
Okay.
20% of the value.
20% of the value, then you now spread the balance
in 24 months.
Over 24 months. So a 2-bedroom, which is, how much is that?
Under 60,000. We were told.
No, 45.
One bed is 45 in pounds.
Yes, and
2 bed is under 60, and 3 bed is about 70.
So if you now make a deposit, and then you can spread the rest over 24 months. If you come to us, because, okay, say it is 60,000 for the value. If you come to us and say, I can't do 12,000 deposit. I can do 6, I can do 7. We will take it, but you will have to realize that you are spreading the balance over 24 months.
Okay, for whatever the difference is.
Yes.
Plus the outstanding.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir. And what do I need to do right now to put in my interest?
Fill the form. There's a form on the chat box.
Okay.
There's a form on the chat box. Fill the form, and you can reach out to us and immediately. And also, I'm going to be encouraging our office staff to respond to everybody who fills the form within 24 max 48 hours.
2 days. That's all right. 2 days. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
The form is on the chat box. And for those of you in the UK, you can reach out to me as well.
There's a Grace Johnson raising the hand.
Grace Johnson.
Grace Johnson.
Yes, hello. Good evening. Two questions quickly. So how is the apartment's powered? Is it solar? So can we expect 24-hour light? And number 2, you said that the ground floor are studio apartments.
Yes.
But I didn't notice the price. There was no price for studio.
The price for the studio is 45 million.
45,000 pounds.
I know, 45 million naira. Okay. It was 45 million because it's a studio.
Studio, not a one
bedroom is 63 million. The studio is 45. And to power the building, one of the things Macarius does is that we bring in NEPA, but we are going to also put solar. But we will now, when it comes to, you will have to buy what they call token. We will have a central solar, central generator, and we'll also, let me just explain this way. Number 1, you get a token. So whether we channel power to you through solar, through generator, or NEPA, your token is just what you use to get the power into your building. In other words, you just need power in your apartment, and it is coming from us. We are generating it through 3 methods: generator, solar, and PHCN. That is the power holding company. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
One of the reasons for that is because with 16 to 20 residents in one block, everyone cannot have their own solar, because one panel cannot be enough to give you power for your room. So we will be the ones to control the whole solar to put power in all the place. Is that clear?
Quickly.
I just want to ask, the spread of 24 months, is it a mandatory payment monthly payment, or you have to pay within 24 months?
Well, once you make your deposit, most real estate companies in Nigeria, if they want to spread like this, they make you pay within a shorter time. They'll say 12 months. It's not practical. Having lived in the diaspora, I know how people in the diaspora have worked very hard for their money. The reason we say 24 months is because one, it makes you also to make a commitment. You want to own a house, you want to own an apartment. And Mr. Oluyede made a powerful statement. One of the things you could even do is just take a mortgage and pay off, because the mortgage here, max, or remortgage on your property, max you are paying is 4%. Can you believe that when we borrow in Nigeria, we pay between 25 and 32%? So the reason we said 24 months is to give you convenience. You can pay off in shorter time, but we're doing it for you to pay off. We're giving you convenience. That's why we say 24
Okay.
months.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Equal installment every month, yeah.
You're welcome.
Adenike Lawa, please. Madam Adenike Lawa, are you there?
Still muted.
Unmute yourself, Adenike Lawa.
Okay.
Adenike Lawa, I think there are no more questions, sir, and the time is fast spent. We've done almost 3 hours.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Is that Adenike?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. This is Adenike Lawa from Canada, Saskatchewan. Daddy always mentions Saskatchewan during
Morning glow.
Yeah, morning glow in the morning. Well done, sir. I want to ask about, is there any plan for preschool, to have a preschool within the estates? I'm an early childhood educator. If it's allowed, I'm interested to have like a daycare in the estates. Is it allowed?
Certainly, there is a commercial section, there is a school section. And what we could do is take your telephone number. The price for the land for school is the commercial, is the same commercial value. In other words, number one, when you come to Macarius Champions Place and you are driving in, the first place you engage with is the commercial area. That's where the school is. In fact, we have done it in such a way that if Adenike were to build a school, people from outside can attend. People from outside can attend the school, and people from inside the estate can also attend the school, which increases value for you. So we will take your details and we'll talk to you in more details.
I feel 2 forms, sir. One for commercial and one I want 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And third thing, sir, I would like to be a realtor here in Canada for people that are interested to invest in Nigeria.
That will be a fantastic thing. So please put that on the form also, so that when the office is talking to you, we know that this is a potential realtor, and you also can now talk about it, which is very good. I'm still thinking. I'm not sure. When I'm in Ottawa in September, I might do a road show for Canada.
That would be nice. Saskatchewan, sir, is the village part of the Canada, but we have a lot of medical doctors here. And I'm sure they'll be interested.
My only fear of Saskatchewan is your cold, but maybe only one day.
I'm doing summer, sir.
Okay, we'll consider and see. All right, but we'll take your details and we'll talk to you more about the commercial part. That's very good. All right.
That might be our last question. Proscovia, your hands.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, Pastor Matthew. Good evening,
you're welcome.
Mr. Maiwa. Yeah, my question is, I'm not a Nigerian, but I would be interested in a 2-bedroom flat. My question is there taxes that we have to pay? And if they are, what is the process?
You will not pay tax for buying real estate in Nigeria. The only time you will pay tax, of course, is if we now help you to put it out as Airbnb and you make money. There will have to be tax on the profit you made. But other than that, you're not paying tax on anything except the profit, of course, from the Airbnb or the rental. But it's so good that you're interested. Your name sounds East European. Where are you from?
I'm a Ugandan.
Okay, Ugandan. Okay. I'm so excited tonight that we're getting a lot of internationals. So please show your interest. Follow through with your interest. You will love the apartments, and the only tax will be only on the profit made, and you are not taxed for anything else.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, everyone on the system, please go into the chat box and put your details. Fill the form. Take advantage. You can put your details if you want more explanation. Somebody to call you, somebody to explain. Mr. Mayowa is there. The office staff in London, in Nigeria are there. They'll be ready to. You can put. What is this? The type for me to say to you? I can't quite understand. You can put receiving manager on the form to call you. All right. Somebody will call. We appreciate everyone. The forms, if you have used the phone and you couldn't quite download the form, send at least a text or whatever so that we can use it to talk to you. For the person who wanted to know about the commercial on Macarius Champions Place, the commercial plot is 300,000 Naira per square meters. So if the lady wants to build a school, say for example on 500 square meters, that would be 300,000 Naira times 500 square meters, because commercial is usually slightly more expensive than residential. Mr. Mayowa, I hand over to you again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pastor. You have really given us so much tonight. And my little ad, guys, the train is moving. The train is moving. Are you going to join us? Let's take you to the promised land. In 10 years from now, you want to look back.
Yes.
And say, yes.
You made the move.
I made the move. The opportunity came and I took advantage. When they were building the Olympic site in Stratford,
yes,
many people just saw it, they are building, they didn't take advantage. Less than 5 years, those property, even in the vicinity, doubled. That's in the UK.
Yes.
Ibejuleki now, where Macarius Villagio is, I need you to go on Google and just type 10 reasons why I should invest in this corridor.
Yes.
Don't take Pastor Matthew's word for it or mine, or go to ChatGPT.
Yes.
Ask the best place to invest in Lagos, Nigeria now.
That's the point, yes.
And this is opportunity. We're talking of £45,000 for 1 bedroom, 60,000 for 2 bedroom, 71,000 for 3 bedrooms. That's a bargain.
Yeah.
You won't get that anywhere in Europe, anywhere in the UK, anywhere in the United States. You will not. The last time you can get something like that in the United States was 2003, where you can get a 2-bed for like maybe $40,000. Those era is gone.
Yeah.
This is the best time to invest in Lagos, Nigeria, and we are presenting my Villagio to you. Take advantage, take advantage. In 3-4 months' time, maybe when we have another show, price might have gone up by 20-30%. And you don't want to,
definitely.
Pastor, can you give me the price of June? No. Those who bought in December are laughing now. Those who bought in February are laughing now.
Yeah.
We want you to be able to share your own testimony.
Yeah, between those road shows and now, the price has changed.
It's changed, and it keeps changing.
In fact, even the price of the land, I must say that when I was looking at the price of the land, my staff have just, even me, I'm just seeing the price of 500 square meters in Macarius Champions Place. I'm saying, oh, really? This is the new price?
Yeah. So
because they
guys,
know the
take
reality on
advantage.
ground more than me.
Take advantage, take advantage, take advantage. Buy 1, buy 2, buy 3, buy 4. Tell your friends. Two people can come together. And more importantly, if you own a property in the UK, just go to your bank. Or even use your credit card. Raise money from your credit card and buy.
Mortgage.
You know, take your deposit from your card. Just make that deposit and start spreading. £10,000 is almost what you need as a deposit. And you'll be a proud owner of a property in the next 1 to 2 years. So we want to thank everybody. Pastor, somebody has requested that, can you pray for us? I don't know if you want
Sure,
to.
why not?
Yeah.
Father, I ask your blessing on everybody who participated, both those who are there now and those who have left. I ask your blessings on their life. We pray for our continent of Africa, that your peace will reign in that continent, your blessing will rest in that continent. Pray specifically for Nigeria, that you will intervene in the political situation, in the security situation, in the financial situation. Pray that you would take charge, you would turn things around. Our Africa, our nations will become the glory of the world, will become the testimony of the world, will become the blessing of the world. And Lord, I pray for everybody who participated today that your blessing will be on their lives. Some people who are even thinking, I want to do this, I don't have the money. Give them a miracle, give them a testimony. Let there be breakthrough in their lives to the glory of your name. We thank you, you will do it. You will do more than we have asked for.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
To say a big thank you to you, Mr. Mayo Oluyede, and to all the Macario staff in Nigeria who are right now in the background, who are ready and doing all the hard work. And also Dorothy, my daughter-in-law, did a lot of work, the technical, everybody, and everyone who joined us today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayowa.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, guys.
God bless you. We thank you.
Let's engage. Communicate with our team, and let's make magic happen for you all.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sirs. We are grateful.
Thank you.
Bless you, Pastor Matthew. Blessings.
Thank you.
Bless you, Pastor Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
We
you
are
so much,
grateful,
Pastor
sir.
Matthew.
Thank you.
Bless you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you,
Pastor.
God bless you. Bye.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You could already be earning. This is not just another apartment project. This is income-first real estate investing. Secure your unit at the Villagio today and own an asset that works for you.
Hi, I'm Ashimolowo, Chairman Macarius Luxury Properties. Here at Macarius Luxury Place, we also have Macarius Champions Place, But at Macarius Luxury Place, once you drive in through the major way and you come to this point, you are now at the dividing point of the commercial and the residential. However, we have 7 commercial plots here, small plots. For those of you who need small 500 square meter commercial plots, pharmacy, for small practices, legal firm, etc. 7 small commercial plots here, even though they are 500 square meters. You see, Macarius is a place where 10,000 people will live in it. So the white wall you are looking at is a water display place. You've seen it, you've enjoyed it. Just behind the water display place is our mall. It's a huge mall. And if you want to know what the mall will look like, just follow me there. That's the mall there. The mall is going to be an amazing one, all glass. We're not doing the typical thing everybody does. We're doing a major, major mall. Also, back in the mall is a 9,000 square meter school, a plot for a school. So what are you waiting for? You can run a play school, nursery, primary, or even junior secondary school on 9,000 square meter. And towards the end, we have an event center, which is sitting on 2,000 square meters. We have a hotel ground, which is sitting also on 6,000 square meters. We have an office ground, which is sitting on about 4,000 square meters. So the Macarius Luxury Place has taken many things into account. You drive in, you shop here, you play here. In fact, at the office, which I mentioned, you can walk there. So what are you waiting for? This is your chance to be the one who builds a multi-purpose office which people can rent the space. You also can be the one who builds the hotel. Anyone who builds the hotel at Macarius is going to have tremendous return on investment, because everyone who comes to watch the water show, because the greatest times for the water show is in the evenings. So we just tie your hotel to the water show. So what are you waiting for? You either buy the small plots of 500 square meters, or you buy the big plot. 1, the hotel. 2, the office. 3, the event place. 4, the doctors or the hospital for those who want to practice medicine. Apartments. It's a place of the future, a place of security, serenity, prosperity, and community. The Villagio apartments are more than a home. Bring you increase if you run it as Airbnb. They bring you money if you run it as a place for rent. It brings you peace, a home away from home. If you are coming from the diaspora, still for a short time, you have a place you can be proud of. Paris Champions Place.
Why
Welcome to Makara's Luxury Place, the hallmark of luxury living in the heart of Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria. Envisioned by Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo to redefine what it means to live, work, and play in the new Lagos. Experience Africa's first water display park, a world-class fusion of water, light, sound, and innovative technology, creating mind-blowing, breathtaking display that is captivating to the mind. Crafted for excellence, Makara's embodies world-class infrastructure, state-of-the-art amenities, 24/7 power supply, fully paved and tarred road, advanced security system, modern water, serene green spaces designed to deliver comfort, security, and enduring value. From smart luxury homes to fully serviced plots and prime commercial plots, offering unmatched potential for business and investment growth. Makara's offer spaces designed for modern living. Our 6-bedroom masterpiece, the Villagio, is crafted exclusively for the elite. And our 4-bedroom terrace home, the Antizo, is beautifully crafted in a fusion of modern elegance and timeless value. Makara sits at the heart of the new Lagos, surrounded by transformational projects, the Lekki Free Trade Zone, the new international airport, the deep sea port, the coastal road, the green railroad. This is more than land. This is a launch pad for exponential growth. Buy today and watch your investment skyrocket and avoid being one of those who missed out.